All right, here we are at Rob's basement. We are doing a Moderns game. The modern rules we're using is Flames of War, adaptation from the Cardiff War Games Club. So it's stopping the red tide at blogspot.ca or .com or whatever you're doing, whatever country you're in. So we're playing in Rob's basement. We're playing an 8x4. I'm playing the Soviets, and we have a coalition of. He's playing Canadians, and Mark over there has. You normally would have Danes and Germans, but you only brought your Germans, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So we have played one modern game already, Rob and I, ages ago, and we came up with a mission because the Flames of War missions don't really work too well. Basically, each side deploys half their army in a 24 by 24 inch box in one corner, and they have done so on this side here. Actually, cheater, this one I think is a little too far. And there's 3 objectives along down the middle. So historically, Canadians were always stopping at gas houses, so we're going to do the gas houses one. There's Lowenbrow over here, so there's beer. Clearly, that's going to be another objective, and we figured in the middle, this is where they're going to drink and eat. Is going to be in this little farm area. So that's the 3rd objective. Soviets are attacking. I'm just going to go through quickly what I have. I have a unit of reluctant trained T-55s. I have a unit of BTR 70s with infantry. The infantry aren't actually here, they're inside the BTRs. And I have 2 units of T-80s right here. I have another unit of T-80s in reserves. I have ZSUs in reserves. And I have recon in reserves and another unit of T-80s in reserves. My HQ consists of a T-80 with the 2 dudes on there. I haven't finished the turret yet. And this BTR command thing. You guys are starting with just Mark stuff first.
Just my Germans.
So what are these fine-looking German vehicles?
Martyr 182s with mounted platoon inside.
So Martyrs that can carry dudes, and their weapons are missiles?
They've got a Milan anti-tank weapon and a chain gun.
Okay, and these things over here?
Jaguar 2s with tow launchers.
So... excellent. It's good to see the Germans kept along with the Leopards and Jaguars and so on and so forth. And there's a platoon inside this.
Yep.
So that's your 3 platoons. And I know Rob's Canadians. We've got, I'm guessing, the HQ tanks.
HQ tanks, tank troop, armored defense platoon.
And these are the Battlefront, the new Battlefronts.
With
right?
tow.
Nice.
With QRF tows.
QRF tows.
More leopard, another troop of leopards.
More QRF
infantry platoon.
infantries. And this is your scout. These are lynxes. And tell us a story about the Queen Mary. That's the command vehicle. And is it Canada or Britain and Canada call them Queen Marys because they're so big inside?
I don't know if the Brits do. We call them Queen Marys because they're just so huge.
Because they're so huge. Like I said, you need
or some people would call big command posts gin palaces.
The gin palace. So that's how we're going to be, and we are going to do probably 2 turns because the first turn will always be real quick and almost nothing happens. So we'll catch you later. I'm going to try to keep it down because it's shit. As promised, we skipped turn 1. It wasn't too eventful. Mark and Rob got to go first. They moved the Lynxes up to here, and they moved the Jaguars up to about there. On my turn, I moved the T-55s to here. I drove the BTRs 24 inches to here. And these tanks took some hull-down shots and killed a few guys. On their turn 2, he dismounted here and went to the Gasthof to claim this objective here, so that's great. These Jags moved up to this hill, so that they're concealed from my guys. Rob rolled his reserves, so the Leopards came on. Some Milan fire took out my BTRs, and then the Leopards targeted my 2IC first, so that he'd have to join the platoon. Enough hits were caused, so my 2IC is now dead. My troops were not, they unpinned, and then on my turn they moved up, fired an RPG, did nothing. Over yonder, these guys now had 2 shots apiece. So I was able to wipe out the, sorry, what is again? Martyrs. The Martyrs with the Milans. My T-55s. So my reluctant conscripts are over here drinking beer. So clearly they don't want combat, they want beer, which is fine. And that's about it. So now it is their turn 3. Roll some reserves. So turn 3, they were able to wipe out 2. Well, they wisely, once my 2IC is dead. See, the Warsaw Pact have really restrictive command rules. And we're actually playtesting a command rule that's not currently in the book here. In the book right now, if the CO dies, it's pretty much it. We are testing a hybrid of where if the CO dies, the 2IC has to try and get on the radio net and get everybody in command, which means the whole army is pinned, and then as units unpin, that's them recognizing the 2IC as the commander. However, in this case, they've already killed the 2IC, so my 1IC is parked here. They've been targeting him because he's near the tanks, these tanks here. He joined them, killed 2 of them with the tow missiles. On my turn, I moved up, RPG'd into there, did absolutely nothing. This unit shot into there and killed 3. They passed their test. And I wanted to assault, but I had failed my tank turret because these RPG-7s are tank assault 6, and these things have top armor 1. So that would have paid off huge. But let me just go back to the command and control thing. So if the CO dies, all my units are permanently pinned. They can never unpin, they can never move forward, and I can no longer claim objectives. So at that point, the only thing I can do is shoot or move off the board to try to mitigate platoons. So that's what we're playtesting, and my shooting was rather unspectacular into there. So if he moves to the side here, he's probably going to get side armor shots. But let's see if you guys get reserves, because this is going to be clutch. Because again, the reserves come on that side of that little line there. They don't. Well, you get one automatically, because you get one automatically.
We need to buy you new dice.
Yeah. So they will get a unit of reserves. I don't know if they've got any AT assets. Oh, it's tow missile 113s. So that's probably bad news. Cool. All right, end of the turn. Rob went to get for some side shots with the Leopards into my CO tank. He did get a side shot and killed 1 T-80. What else did he do? He took some tow missile shots, bailed out another one. I got back in. I turned these guys so I wouldn't get side armor shots from there. And I'm still kind of, sort of not from side armor shots. My RPGs once again did nothing. I did get a unit of reserves, and they cleaned house over here. Bailed out a bunch of guys. The last 2 Jags, one is here and one is over there. Yeah, triple bailed, and then this one was bailed out, and then I passed my tank terror and assaulted and captured. So I'm sitting on this one here. However, in a fit of completely heroic rage, the reluctant conscripts are no longer here. They decide to move out here, where they're going to be shot and killed by that, if he decides to shoot them. But that was to take super long-range shot at the tow missiles that came in right here. And I needed 5s to hit, and I got 3 5s. So I was able to blow up Rob's beautiful Battlefront Canadian tow missile launchers. So that is the end of that. However, they now rolled 2 units of reserves. Like I told them, I have 2 units of reserves left too, but they're garbage. It's like BMPs and 2 BRDMs with machine guns. So my main force is on the table already. So we will see how the game continues. All right. Well, it happened. I got my reserves in, and so I was in no danger of being below half. So we'll start with what I did. I drove these guys up machine gun. No, I did that already. Yeah, sorry, we're halfway through the turn because the Panzerfaust hit here, or sorry, missed. Unbeknownst to everybody, there's a Milan on that top green window there. So the Milan fired into there, did nothing. Now, the 50 cals from here bailed out my Shilkas because it turns out 50 cals are AT4, and unfortunately for my Shilkas, their side armor is only 2. And then there's another 8 billion 50 cals shots, so they double-billed one, he ran away and then killed the other. So down a platoon there. Have a look at this tank park over here. So finally, after all these shots, all these wreck tanks, he shot into here, shot at my commander, he joined the platoon, and I rolled a 1 for the armor save on the commander, and he died. I also lost one of the ones for the platoon, so they failed their test and ran away. So we are playtesting the fact that in the rules right now, the game would be over. But we're playtesting now that the CO is dead, the 2IC is dead, so that means every remaining platoon is now pinned, and they can't unpin. So this lone guy, he's pinned. These T-80s stuck here, pinned. My BMPs, pinned. My plucky little recon are also pinned. I'm also at exactly 4 platoons left. So now there's multiple ways they can win, right? All they gotta do is claims the objective here, they're claiming this one, and they're claiming that one. So they're gonna win just on objectives. If they kill one more platoon, which, let's be honest, that's gonna now die. And this one tank, yeah, it's gonna die. So they'll also win, because I don't have a commander, but at the very least it gives me a chance to try and, as being pinned, to mitigate the damage. I could drive these guys off and try to take a skill test to mitigate the damage, like I said. So these guys will probably be moving back. He will definitely be moving back, but I'm going to have to take the skill test. So we're going to see how it plays out. So right now in the rules, you guys would have won. You're still going to win, but I'm going to see if I can mitigate it. So here we go. Real quick, obviously armor units can't be pinned. We're going to count them as them being leaderless. Sorry, leaderless, but they can move backwards, I guess, because I mean they can't really be pinned, but it's like they're pinned because we just thought of that. I was like, wait a minute, armor can't be pinned, so there we go. So that's how we're going to do it. So I'm just going to do my turn because everything was pinned down. You shouldn't be able to rotate the hull, I don't think, so I didn't. So these guys here, I got 8 shots into here. I killed 1 veiled 1. The machine guns from here killed enough to force them below half, and I killed them. The 30mm cannons on the BMPs killed 1, veiled 3 of these Lynx vehicles. To be cunning, I took the infantry out of here and then ran them out here and split them. So now I've got an extra platoon in case I lose another one. Again, we'll have to talk about whether or not I can be able to do that. So now I've got an extra platoon. So this did pay off. I did another platoon kill. So now no matter what, I mean, it's going to be a 4-3 loss for when I lose. But man, look at all the dead tanks over there. So the guys that are alive are the 2IC, OC, 2IC, platoon command guy, and then bail out dude. So it's pretty deadly. So let's just have this next turn be the last one, I think.
Good. Yeah.
Yeah, because yeah, it's winding down now. All right, so the game has ended. Rob drove some tanks up in here. He's holding the Lowenbrow. The Germans are all up in this. And they're eating schnitzel at the gas house, so they definitely won in that front. They shot and killed this. I killed a couple of tanks on my turn, but it wasn't really enough. On their turn, a Panzerfaust and the Milan that's up in there killed and bailed, but I've made my test to stay here. And then a bunch of 50 cals pinged off the BMPs. And then we realized that when I'd split, remember when I'd split these guys out to make an extra platoon? Well, I went from 8 platoons to 9, and then when I lost this, it didn't really help me. If I'd had 2 infantry platoons and I would have done it, it would have helped. Right? It would have created 2 platoons, and I'd be 5 out of 10. But so this, in fact, kind of screwed me over, but it's okay. But that's the thing. We play tested it, and I still think it's characterful that next turn I would have taken the skill test to get them off, and then these guys, I would have been greedy and I would have wanted to kill another platoon. But what I should have done is just mitigate the damage and just drive off. But in the end, it's a 4-3. So what do you think, Mark? This is your first game of Moderns of this rule set.
This rule set? No, I like it. It's good. It played it well, I think.
Yeah. Definitely the fact that we didn't know that there was a Milan attached to that.
I should have paid more attention.
No, it's okay. It's one of those things, right? Like,
yeah.
I didn't realize these were the crappy 30mm guns and not the good ones. One thing, I don't know why the 73mm gun is as good as the 100mm gun from there in terms of AT. I think this should be toned down a bit for the BMP-1. I think that's kind of nuts. And the 23mm cannon from the Shilkas are very, very bad. 50 cals have more punching power than the 23mm, which I don't know. That's something else. But anyways, lots of tanks. One thing we did learn for sure, because of all the long ranges, is that you would never. Again, this was a custom mission. I should really do a nicer write-up for it. But I think for moderns, because of the long ranges involved, having corner to corner, you get the long range aspect. Because I mean, if we were going head to head, it'd be crazy. Yeah, I mean, these tow missiles were taking massive long range shots into here, and then my guys were shooting back. It's like everything's got an 88, you know. So I don't know. But man, infantry, my infantry did really well. The RPGs are very good. The Milan is very good. It's a way longer range. It's range what, 30 or
30,
20,
I think,
30?
yeah.
For an infantry packed weapon, that's really
That's
good. So it seems to me that the Russian infantry is better off at assaulting tanks, whereas Milans are better leaving exactly like this. You leave one up in the attic here. He's got line of sight to pretty much everything. And
Standoff.
yeah. And how about you, Rob? I think we're finding that these Canadian tanks aren't that good. I mean, they're only front armor. They're front armor 13, but their gun's only 16. And my T80s have front armor 14, so it makes life rough.
Yeah, I'm hoping to hit from longer ranges with tows if they survive, and we'll have artillery next game, and that'll make a big difference.
Yeah. Well, you'll have your off-board artillery, and I'm going to have my Hind D as artillery. So, anyways, thanks for the game. I hope you guys enjoyed, and yeah, I'm definitely liking the modern warfare aspect. It's really neat. I mean, look at all these tanks. I mean, how cool is that? That's really cool. Like, this is nuts. We were joking that there should be some tow trucks afterwards and just grabbing all the scrap metal, because that's how many tanks? How many dead tanks are there? 3, 6, 9, 12, 15, 18, 20, 23 dead tanks just here. And then over here there's another, I don't know, 6 or 7. So yeah. Anyways, thanks for the game, guys.
Thank you.
Take it easy.